Have you ever suddenly thought about your twin flame and within minutes they called you? Have you ever felt an intense wave of sadness, longing, or love, even though just a few moments ago you were completely fine? Have you ever dreamt about them so vividly that when you woke up, that dream felt more real than your physical reality? Or perhaps you were sitting silently, doing absolutely nothing, when suddenly their face appeared in your mind, their voice, their energy, their presence, and deep within you, you felt something is happening with them. Many people on the twin flame journey describe experiences like these as twin flame telepathy. But what exactly is telepathy? Is your twin flame really communicating with you? Can two souls exchange emotions without physical contact? And most importantly, how do you differentiate genuine intuitive connection from anxiety, obsession, and wishful thinking? Today we are going deep into the mystery of twin flame telepathy. Hello my divine souls, welcome to Spiritual Bloom, where we bloom within our consciousness, with your twin flame guide and coach Neha. And if you are walking through a spiritual awakening or twin flame journey, you have to know what is twin flame telepathy. Now, telepathy is generally described as experience of receiving thoughts, emotions, images, or impressions without ordinary verbal communication. Within the twin flame dynamic, telepathy is believed to happen because the two individuals share an unusually deep energetic resonance. Understand something important, that telepathy does not always mean hearing a clear voice inside your head. Many people expect something dramatic. They think they will suddenly hear their twin flame saying, "I miss you, I love you," or "I'm coming back." But intuitive experiences are often more subtle. They may appear as a sudden emotion, a mental image, a dream, an unexplained inner knowing, a sensation in the body, strong urge to contact someone, a memory appearing unexpectedly. These experiences can feel as though information has entered your awareness before your logical mind has had time to process it. This is why many twin flame describe the connection as, "I don't know how I know. I just know," meaning you just come to know that something is going wrong, or you just have a level of awareness. But this is also where discernment becomes extremely important, because not every thought about your twin flame is telepathy. Sometimes you are simply thinking about them, and understanding the difference is a part of spiritual maturity. Now, why do twin flames they experience telepathy? From a spiritual perspective, twin flames are believed to share a profound energetic connection. Even when they are physically separated, the emotional and spiritual bond may continue to feel active. Think about two musical instruments tuned into the same frequency. When one vibrates strongly, the other may begin resonating. This phenomenon is known in physics as sympathetic resonance. Now I am using this as a metaphor, not scientific proof of twin flame telepathy. But spiritually, it beautifully explains how many people experience this connection. When you have shared intense emotional experiences with someone, your mind and nervous system becomes highly sensitive to patterns connected with that person. Their expression, their behavior, emotional cycles, silence, even their energy. You may begin sensing changes before they are verbally communicated. Spiritually, this may be interpreted as energetic connection. Psychologically, it may sometimes involve deep emotional attunement, and perhaps for some experiences, we simply do not yet have a complete explanation. The purpose is not to force an answer. The purpose is to observe the experience with awareness. Now, the first sign is that sudden thoughts appear and they feel different. But there is a difference between ordinary thinking and what feels like an intuitive impression. Ordinary thinking usually has a trail. You saw their photograph, you heard a song, you visited a familiar place, you remembered a conversation, or something triggered your memory. But an intuitive thought can feel as though it arrived from nowhere. You may be working, driving, reading, talking to someone, and suddenly their presence enters your awareness. Strongly, completely, almost as though someone has walked into the room. You may even stop what you are doing and think, why am I suddenly thinking about this person? Sometimes later, you may discover that they were going through something emotionally significant at that time. However, be careful, do not automatically create a story around every sudden thought. You need to observe first. Feel the experience and notice your patterns. Discernment becomes stronger when you stop forcing meaning. Don't try to force meaning in every thought that you have about them. Now, in this telepathic feeling, you will also get sudden emotional waves. Imagine you wake up feeling peaceful, your day is going extremely well, your nervous system feels calm, and suddenly an intense sadness enters your body. You feel heaviness, grief, you may even feel like crying, but you cannot identify a personal reason. Then after some time, the emotion disappears. People on this twin flame journey sometimes interpret these emotional waves as sensing the emotional state of their counterpart, and the same may happen with them. You may feel joy suddenly out of nowhere, extreme love, compassion for the other person out of nowhere, longing, anxiety, restlessness, or emotional heaviness. But here is where inner awareness is essential. Before saying that, this emotion belongs to my twin flame, you need to ask yourself that did something trigger me? Am I tired? Am I overwhelmed? Or is my nervous system activated? Because you always need to check within yourself first before you come into a conclusion. Because spiritual awareness should increase self-knowledge. It should not disconnect you from yourself. If you have explored your own emotional landscape and the feeling still seems unusual, simply observe it. You do not need to label it immediately. Sometimes awareness is enough in such situations. Now we'll talk about dream telepathy. What is dream telepathy? Dreams are one of the most powerful areas in this journey. Many people report dreaming about their twin flame during separation, and these dreams can feel incredibly vivid. You may speak with them, hug them, receive an apology, experience intimacy, or simply sit beside them in silence. And when you wake up, the emotional energy remains, sometimes for hours, sometimes for days. Within twin flame spirituality, these experiences are sometimes called 5D meetings or dream telepathy. Some believe the souls communicate while the conscious mind is resting. Others interpret dreams as subconscious processing unresolved emotional material. Both perspectives invite an important question that what is the dream trying to reveal within you. So instead of immediately asking yourself that does this mean reunion is coming, you need to ask yourself that what emotion did this dream activate? Was I receiving love, closure? Was there any fear or forgiveness? Dreams can become extremely powerful mirrors, whether you understand them spiritually or psychologically. They may reveal something important about your inner world. Some people describe moments when they suddenly remember their twin flame's voice. It can be a phrase, a sentence, a nickname, or something the person frequently said. Sometimes the inner experience feels incredibly vivid. Again, in this case, discernment is important. The human brain is capable of recreating familiar voices through memory, and that is completely normal. But spiritually, some people experience certain inner messages as intuitive impressions. Now, how do you distinguish the two? Usually, fear-based mental chatter feels repetitive. It feels urgent, chaotic, and demanding. You feel like contacting them. You feel like you're losing them. You feel like they're leaving you. But intuition often feels quieter. It is simple and clear, and it is peaceful. And when you operate from your intuition, you will have that inner knowing that, be still, let it go, or they need space. Focus on yourself. Because, as I told you, the ego demands immediate action, but intuition often invites awareness. So this is where discernment is required. Now, synchronicities and telepathic moments, what relation does it have? Now when you think about them and your song begins playing, you remember a conversation, and suddenly you see their name, you dream about them. Then again next morning they contact you. You feel an urge to check your phone, and suddenly then there is a message. These experiences can feel deeply synchronistic. And synchronicity is often understood as a meaningful coincidence. But synchronicity should not become an addiction. And this is extremely important in this journey. If you spend your entire day searching for angel numbers or songs, names, initials, birthdays, social media signs, you may unknowingly train your mind to constantly scan the environment for confirmation. And then everything begins looking like a sign. This true spiritual awareness does not require constant external proof. Sometimes the greatest sign is your inner transformation. The transformation matters more than seeing 1111 50 times a day. And some twin flames, they have even experienced physical sensations during intense energetic periods. This may include warmth around the heart space, sudden fluttering sensation, pressure in the chest, tingling sensations, feeling of someone's presence, sudden restlessness, or unexplained energetic intensity. Spiritually, people may interpret these sensations as energetic communication. However, physical symptoms should never automatically be labeled as twin flame energy. Your body communicates for many reasons. Sometimes it's stress, anxiety, sleep deprivation, hormonal changes, and many other health conditions. So spirituality should never replace appropriate medical attention. Your body deserves both spiritual awareness and practical care. Now let's talk about sexual energy and telepathy. This is rarely discussed openly, but many twin flames describe sudden waves of sexual energy connected with their counterpart. The experience may happen unexpectedly, especially during separation. You may suddenly feel intense attraction, Memories of physical intimacy may surface, or you may feel a powerful energetic pull towards the person. So, within this dynamic, some interpret this as sacral chakra connection or energetic intimacy. But sexual energy is also life force energy, as we all know. It is a creative energy. It can move through the body during emotional awakening, hormonal shifts, or deep psychological processing. So, instead of immediately chasing the person during such situations, you need to learn to hold the energy. Breathe into it, move your body, create. Because one of the deepest lessons in this journey is learning that powerful energy does not always require immediate external action. Sometimes it is asking to be transmuted. I also made a video on this, how to transmute your sexual energy. Because being in a twin flame journey, many times you will get this strong urge of sexual intimacy, which is absolutely normal. But how do you use that energy depends on you, whether you waste it or whether you create something out of it. Sometimes sexual telepathy is not just about your counterpart missing you or you missing them or missing the intimate moments with them. Sometimes your body, your soul feels such sexual intimacy because it wants you to recreate or use that energy in something productive. Now, many people say that telepathic experiences become stronger during separation. It does, because physical communication has stopped. There is no physical reassurance. So awareness naturally turns inward. The absence of external communication can make internal experiences feel louder. You may dream more, feel more, remember more, and notice more synchronicities. Spiritually, some believe that separation strengthens energetic communication. Psychologically, the mind may also become more sensitive to emotional imprint of the relationship. Whatever perspective resonates with you, the lesson remains the same. Do not use telepathy to avoid reality. If someone is not communicating physically, respect the physical reality. Do not say that they are telepathically telling me they love me, therefore I should ignore their boundaries. No, you are not supposed to do that. A spiritual connection never gives us permission to violate another person's space. If they have asked for distance, honor the distance. If they have blocked communication, do not create new accounts to contact them. If they are unavailable, respect the reality and come into acceptance. True spirituality must include boundaries, and telepathy should never become an excuse for obsession. Now, many people they ask that can the divine masculine feel the divine feminine? This is one of the most common questions that I receive. Now, you want to know whether the connection is mutual, whether they miss you, whether they dream about you, whether they feel the same pull, the same telepathic pull like you do. But your healing cannot depend on receiving confirmation from their inner world. You may never know exactly what another person is thinking unless they communicate it. And spiritual maturity means becoming comfortable with some uncertainty. The divine masculine may process emotions differently. They may suppress, avoid, become busy, distract themselves, or withdraw. This does not automatically prove telepathy, and silence does not automatically mean secret communication. Instead of trying to enter their mind, you need to return to your own consciousness. You need to do your own healing. Now, how to differentiate telepathy from obsession? This is perhaps the most important part of the video today, because twin flame journey can become emotionally intense. So you need to ask yourself that does this experience bring peace or anxiety? Does it help me grow or it is keeping me waiting? Am I respecting my boundaries enough? Am I using spirituality to avoid grief? Now, healthy intuition expands your consciousness. Obsession does what? Obsession narrows your entire world around one person. Intuition allows you to continue living, but obsession makes everything about them and you start waiting. Intuition can exist without immediate proof, but obsession constantly demands confirmation. If your entire day revolves around decoding someone's energy, you need to come back to yourself, ground yourself, reconnect with your body, return to your purpose. The twin flame journey is not meant to erase your identity. It is meant to reveal it. Now, if you experience what feels like telepathy, practice observation instead of reaction. You need to observe from where these feelings are coming. You need to ground yourself, meditate, and release any kind of attachment to such telepathic feelings. So, if you are experiencing such telepathy, do not be afraid of it, but do not become consumed by it either. Don't obsess over it. Just observe the situation, use your discernment and ground yourself. Respect your physical boundaries and continue your inner work. You don't need to connect to them physically. You don't need to drop your boundaries just because you had a telepathic dream or telepathic feeling about them. Because whether the experience is energetic, intuitive, subconscious or psychological, or something we do not yet fully understand, your twin flame journey should not make you abandon yourself. It should bring you home to yourself. Remember, the strongest connection is not the one that keeps you constantly searching for another soul. It is the connection that teaches you how to hear your own soul clearly. So, if you like this video, do like, share, comment and subscribe. For any kind of personal guidance, you can WhatsApp or email me. My contact details have been given in the description box. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I'll see you again in another episode.